Hey, I am excited to be here with my boy, Mr. Joshua, one of the greatest there is on this planet. Talking about them Cowboys, and of course, setting it straight with fam. Man, after those preseason games, moving everyone around, losing our left tackle, going in to pull one of these oldies to fill that spot, how our O line looks, the defense. Oh my God, that D, can it get better? Will it be better? Can it pull us to another 12 game season again? Or can Dak or Zeke pull it off? Man, we talking about all that today. But before we start, you know what we gotta do, like we always do it. And that is, how about the Cowboys? That's right. Okay, Joshua, you know what I'm saying? It's just you and I today. We just half of the fam today. But knowing that we have, got to go ahead and take over. You looked at and you see what happened, what transpired over the season, and the pickups, the folks we let go. Now we about to see that man, that Tom Brady man, the one who would like to retire and come back, retire and come back, and retire and come back. How you think? How do we look this week, man? What do you think?
Well, first, just some news that obviously Jason Peters, we're going to add Jason Peters to the group, but he's not going to be. We don't foresee him being there this week because he's going to be on the practice squad. So, I mean, from my understanding, from what Tyler Smith has been saying, from what he's been saying, is that he's been giving him tips here and there. But I don't know if that's going to be able to stop people like your Vita Veas and your Shaq Barretts and stuff like that. So, I mean, we're going to have a pretty tough test ahead of us. I mean, they have some O-line issues themselves, but they still seem to have like a pretty decent O-line themselves. So, I mean, I guess the only person that's kind of iffy is Goki and Hainsey on the offensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I still feel like we're going to get to the quarterback because you got your Osa Digazuas, you got your Bohannas, and you got your Neville Gallimores, and you got obviously the beast Micah Parsons. I mean, he was the guy that I didn't even think that was going to be good last year, and he definitely proved me wrong.
Right. Yes, he did.
Yes. Yes. So DeMarcus Lawrence, I mean, we got that. So I mean, they're gonna have to get to the Tom Brady as fast as possible. I mean, you're gonna have to give this guy has seen it all. I mean, he's been playing longer than some people than some people been alive that's in the NFL right now. So
Wow.
he's gonna have to give him them looks all over the place. They're going to have to give them looks. They're going to have to give them if they have one look that's successful in the first half, they're going to have to switch it up in the next half because Tom Brady is that good. He's going to find out what the play style is, and he will attack the weakness. So what they need to do is stay tuned into what their assignments are. They need to pull as many stunts as they can, and they need to get out. We need to score early too. We cannot afford to have Tom Brady be comfortable. You have to make sure that he is determined to score, because if he's comfortable, he will keep on scoring over and over again. Once again, as I said, he's seen it all. So hopefully, I mean, the Cowboys have their work cut out for them. I mean, this will be a strong test in what the Cowboys' strengths and weaknesses are. I'm loving this game. So I mean, this is going to be where are the Cowboys at this point in time. So that's what I have for them.
Okay, so you thinking the offense, Tom Brady's offense, they're shaking up, man. They're shaking up kind of bad. So I'm thinking our defense is actually stronger than their offense. So he is the GOAT. But I have seen the GOAT rattled sometime. Now, don't get me wrong. Overall, he is the GOAT. But no one likes to get get hit all the time. But I don't know. I just see we're going to contain him more than a lot of people. Vegas got us as being, not being underdog. You know what I'm saying? Vegas, I don't know what's going on with that. But hey, you know what I mean? So it's going to be something, and I hear you. you and I hear a lot of people, and I know he's the GOAT, and I know he is capable of doing the greatest thing of all things from all time because that's he is. He is the GOAT, right? But this game coming Sunday, right? I don't see he's pulling something that off. I don't. Now maybe later on in the season, which we don't have to play him again, but later on, well, I hope we don't. I think this game, man, the way our defense is looking, I believe we're gonna have that edge. I believe people are not giving us the credit that I think that we have right now. So it's gonna be interesting. So you saying we don't have to come out? You're not saying that our defense can't contain them. You are saying that we have to contain them and we are capable. Is this what you're saying?
Yeah, so we're capable. We're just gonna have to throw him because he's seen all the looks before, right? You're just gonna have to you cannot let him get comfortable. He's probably one of the quickest throwers of the football in the NFL today, So I mean, you're gonna have to get at him. You're gonna have to have hands in like not to the face. You're gonna have to have pretty much white jerseys all in his face, so that way he cannot get comfortable. You have to keep him deep. Some people call it deep in the well, even though he is a pocket quarterback, but you cannot give him time. You have to contain, and you have to make sure you got to look at, even though Godwin's not playing this week, you still have Evans, right? And then you also have that guy that they signed from Atlanta. Well, I should say the Tennessee Titans, but he was originally from Atlanta. So I mean, you got all those guys. So you gotta your work cut out for you. So I mean, you gotta stay true to your assignments, right? Diggs shouldn't be trying to jump anything because if there is a quarterback that would take advantage of somebody jumping the a route, it's Tom Brady. And he will change that up in a second. He will purposely throw like a quick slant just for a couple of times just to think you that you have the upper hand. And then right after the third or fourth time, he's just gonna put a double move. He's gonna audible it. He's gonna put a double move for Mike Evans or whatever like that. And then it's not gonna be good. So he needs Trayvon Diggs needs to stay true to his assignment, and he just needs to play just solid defense, right? And we just need to get back to the quarterback as quick as possible.
So you think Diggs going to be matched up with Evans?
I think whoever is going to be on the left side of the field, Diggs is going to be on. This is going to be. I don't think he's going to follow any wide receiver. I don't know. See, I don't think that he is. I think he's just going to stay the left side cornerback, and as far as that goes, he's going to have just one end, and then Anthony Brown's going to have the other. So. We'll see what happens, whoever Diggs has just to help him with the double moves. I hope that Dan Quinn can have him get a little safety help so that way Diggs is not getting exposed too much. I mean, this is the type of playing style that he has. I'm not really totally against it. I mean, definitely
he got a gang of turnovers last year because of it. Even though
right.
He gave up a lot of yards, but that is true. You're gonna have to take the good with the bad. Turnovers means a lot. You gave up a lot of yards, but turnovers is something that we need. And that's okay. We give them a lot of yards throughout the field, but then when we taking the ball completely away from one play, that means a lot. And I know a lot of people tend to look at the numbers of how many yards that he gives up and say, yeah, but he gets burned, blah, 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 so many times, whatever the case is. Okay, but in all of those times he get burned, or those touchdowns, or those sixes, or those extending the plays so they can score, whatever the case is, because when he don't, that he give us the chance to score because they give us another turnover, which is huge because I remember before we was having a hard time getting a turnover, but since these cats got back on the scenes, man, we were getting it's almost like it's not right if we don't get a turnover, right? Because everybody's expecting our defense to turn the ball over, once or twice, what I'm saying, or three times in a game, which is huge. So.
Yep.
And right now, I think they got us rated number 18 on the defensive scale. I laugh at that, to be honest about it, because I don't think we're gonna be that far down on the defensive
Yeah.
scale.
I think that's a modest place to put us at this point. Obviously, we're going to go nothing but up. As I said, I think last time I said that I have this projected to be number 7 as far as defense goes, because I think that they're capable of doing that. And I think that, I mean, I know they lost one major player, but I think they got a couple more players to outweigh um, our defensive end that was lost last season to the Broncos. So I think since we have Sam Williams and Anthony Barr, I think that's going to and the fact that we have a smarter Mika Parsons too as well. And we have all off season for Dan Quinn to come up with different looks. So I think we're going to have a very strong defense. And these guys have been playing together for the last. You have your core people, and you also have Curse in the back. So I mean, I think that we'll be good. We'll be fine. We'll definitely be fine. And I think we got something good here.
Well,
You know.
right on our defense, I think we pretty much, you know, set with this game. Now, I don't know what we're gonna do on offense against that Tampa Bay defense.
Honestly, I think we're gonna struggle. We're gonna struggle this game, right? But I don't think I'm speaking ahead of myself because we're going to talk about this later. But I think that I think the offense is going to surprise a lot of people this year. I mean, after looking at it, I think the offense is going to surprise a couple of people this year. I mean, people are going to have to step up, but I think the offense is going to.
When you say
It's going
surprise,
to
you
be
surprise in a good way or surprise in a bad way? Because you just
surprise in a
said
good way.
okay, because you
Surprise
said
in
we're
a
gonna
good way.
struggle this game because you had me a little confused. Like where we going with that? Because
Because the fact that we don't have the player like Michael Gallup and everything like that. So I mean, the person that you have with Dak is going to be um, CD Lamb. That's the only person that developed a strong rapport. I mean, hopefully Anthony Brown. I mean, I know my brother's been talking about Anthony Brown a lot on how he's been successful during the preseason. Hopefully it translates over into the regular season. But not Anthony Brown, excuse me, Noah Brown has been a strong preseason candidate pretty much a lot of years. Right, but hopefully a lot of these, he's gotten a lot of reps this preseason. So
what you mean?
hopefully,
What you mean over the years? Noah Brown being a preseason candidate. So are
oh,
you saying?
he's been a preseason standout. Like he's been a training camp standout, almost like Anthony Brown too. Anthony Brown's been in like last year. His preseason standout has translated it over. So hopefully this year for Noah Brown, his preseason slash training camp standout can translate over to actually the regular season. So we're gonna see.
Okay, but
So
I'm trying to get what you said because to me it seems like you're saying that Noah Brown is good on the preseason, but he don't take it over. He don't bring that to the game when they're actually season. So that's what I'm trying to figure
right.
out what
So
you were saying.
right. So exactly what I'm saying. For some odd reason, it's not really translating over to the regular season. But doing a little research on Noah Brown, he's lost a lot of weight because he's getting older, but he's lost a lot of weight. He's been looking good. His routes has been more crisp. So I'm not saying super like Amari Cooper crisp, but they've been more crisp than they usually have been, right? He's been high pointing the ball more than usual. So we'll see. We'll see. And then you also got Schultz too as well. So I think we're going to be good. We're going to be solid. I think this is going to be a competitive game.
Now
And I
what's
think that
funny
we
is
have
what's
a
funny
chance of
is,
winning.
go ahead.
I think we have a chance of winning this game. It's going to be competitive, right? It's going to be just like last year. It's going to go down to the final couple of minutes. So
Okay,
I,
this is what was crazy to me. This is what really confused me. I hear all of the analysts, I hear everybody talking, and they're focusing on Dak, CD, Dak, Schultz, Dak, CD, Gallup's not here, blah 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 blah. But what I'm not hearing is the number 2 guy on our offense who's supposed to be a stud, right? I mean, I'm talking about that Ezekiel Elliott. And then we got Tony Pollard. Nobody is even talking about a run game as if it's not even a threat to society in sense. I mean, like, are they being like disrespected in a sense that they're not even talked about? I mean, I'm like, I mean,
I
okay,
think just like Dak, Ezekiel Elliott, his ability or lack thereof, I think his greatness or his effectiveness, if you will, is dependent upon not large. It's dependent upon the O line. I'm not saying completely, but it's dependent on the O line, and I think that there's a lot of questions involving this O line. Now, this O line can come off the first game and it can be great, but I do think that there's been, especially on the left side, there hasn't been consistency. So it's going to take a couple of games for them to develop that rapport with each other. And I'm talking about McGovern and Tyler Smith, right? Up until Jason Peters gets into the fold. And who knows? Tyler Smith might be solid just like Dak Prescott was in 2016. Who we don't know. Maybe he is. And then Ezekiel Elliott can take advantage. I do know this, though. You're exactly right. They're going to need the run game. They're going to need the run game to be successful, because if the run game is successful, they're going to be able to take advantage of your play action passes, your waggles, and you can your deep routes and stuff like that, and then you can have more of your air raid offense and stuff like that. So you can kind of expand the tree, or not the route tree, but you can spin the playbook a little bit more if the O line and the running game is more successful. So yeah, you're absolutely right. This game is going to depend a lot on the run game, and that is of the Ezekiel Elliott's and the Tony Pollard. So right now, there's just a lot of questions. So we don't know exactly how they're going to do it. Like if this was last year, I think that we would have had with Amari Cooper, and then we have Zach Martin this game. Last
right.
game we didn't have Zach Martin, so that can be a huge thing too as well. So I mean, we're going to see. This is going to be a battle. It's going to be a test. So hopefully we're up for it, and I think we got it.
Yeah.
I think we got it. So I think they're chomping at the bit right now, and I think this is going to be a fun game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking to see what Zeke they're talking about, because even though no one else are talking about it, but within Zeke and what they're talking about at camp and what his people are saying, he's supposed to be like he's fired up, he's ready to make a name, get his original name back, and he's in shape, he's better feeling that what he ever been before. So I'm looking to see how that transpire over to the game as well. See if he can get in there and do what he do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, man, I got your jersey sitting in my closet. You know what I'm saying? Am I going to be able to pull it out? Am I going to be able to walk around here with a proud Ezekiel, Elliott on my back, or it's going to be stuffed in my closet for a while and see what's happening? You know what I'm saying? I already stuffed it in my closet for a while. But even though he was playing hurt last year, man, that dude numbers was still great. You know what I'm saying? To be, it was subpar to his original standing. He wasn't a better person of himself. You know what I'm saying? So he still was good last season, man. His numbers, I was actually shocking. I actually didn't think he was doing as well as he per the numbers that he was grabbing. I didn't think that he was being as good as he was. But the boy's still good, man. He still can run. But I'm trying to see what they're gonna do with Pollard this year. Because I was one of the ones who saying y'all need to put Pollard, in there. Let him, run catch. You know what I'm saying? Get out there, be the third receiver, in this game. Use his strength. What he good to? He good on the outside. His speed is crazy. I'm looking to see what they're gonna do with him. See if they're gonna actually put him in the game, put him in some spots. You know what I'm saying? And that's good because that give, I don't know how healthy Zeke is, but that gives some, that changes things for them on the defensive side. They're trying to figure out what we're doing. So I don't know. So
Yeah, you're look. So all I say is this: is it's. I mean, it's gonna be a it's gonna be a game. I mean, last year, I mean, these people weren't holding. They were holding. There was not a run game at all. Like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't have a run game, and like the Dallas Cowboys didn't have a run game. That's including Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, there was only 60 yards of rushing on pretty much total on each team. I think Dallas had 60 yards of rushing. Tampa Bay had about 50 yards of rushing. So, I mean, these are two teams that's going at it through the air. So that's going to be the thing right there. It's going to be how are you going to how are you going to combat if life takes away the run game, how are you going to combat it through the air, right? Are you going to do quick screens here and there? Because the fact that you have to take advantage, you have to keep in mind that the O-line has a lot of questions on it, right? So they're not as strong as when you had your Tyron Smiths and your Lyle Collins, and then Terrence Stills like the backups, and you had those two on the outside and everything like that. So like last year, you can't have that anymore. So you don't have that time for the play to develop. So you're gonna have to do your quick slants, your quick screens, your bubble screens. You're gonna have to do play action passes to give you time. You're gonna have to do, instead of 3-step drops, you're gonna have to do a 5 or 7-step drop, right? And so to the fact that giving your quarterback a little bit more time. But there's one thing I do know about Dak Prescott, which is kind of funny with Tom Brady. They both are very fluid in the pocket. They kind of they move where the pocket takes them, and they can work in their workspace. They don't really have to go outside the pocket for them to make plays and stuff like that.
Be effective.
Dak Prescott is probably one of the better players, almost one of the best players I've seen do that. He can work in that small space. Now that could be attributed to the O-line, but even when the O-line wasn't giving him what he had, he still was working within the O-line, and he was working within the box. So this is going to be. It's going to be interesting. So I think there's ways how you can circumvent questionable O-line and still be successful. And so I think
he's done it. Brady has
done it, right?
Yeah,
Dak Prescott has done it before.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not going to be. You're not going to have, at least for the first game, it's not going to be as simple as, hey, throwing the. I'm going to take about 3 seconds to throw. I mean, I'm talking about 2.7 seconds tops, right? You're not going to have that 3 seconds to throw because you have your Shaq Barrett's and Vita Veas. They're going to be licking their chops. They're going to be like, oh, we got Connor McGovern and a rookie here. Oh man, I don't care if he's in the first round. He doesn't have the experience that we got. So you're going to have to use Ezekiel Elliott, who's very great on blitz pickup. You're going to have to use him.
He's one of the better ones to do it.
Exactly. So you're going to have to use. There's ways how to circumvent all this stuff. We have a pretty good chance of winning, though. We have a pretty good chance of winning.
Okay, before we go on another topic, I'm gonna have to ask you this right here: the first play of the game, what is going to be? Running a pass?
Ooh, I think it's going to be a run.
I think
only because of the fact they've been talking about the run this whole entire time. Jerry Jones, I mean, even though the first play for last year was a pass, because they were at their 10, I think they were at their 10 or their 7, and then he did an out route to, almost looked like an out route, but to Amari Cooper, and he did it for about 25, 30 yards or something like that. I don't remember. I think that's what it was, but it just depends on if we're at the 25. If we're at the 25, it's going to be a run. It's going to be a run.
At the 25.
If we're at the 10.
But you know what? That special team looking pretty sharp too, man. And I'm thinking hopefully we be at the 30 or the 45. You know what I'm saying? Our first down after that. Unless they put it back in the end zone and do a touchback. But if it was me, if I had to make that decision, if I was a call, I'll show run play, strong right, and go long pass, big play, first play of the game. CeeDee Lamb out, gone. Let him go out there and reach and grab it. Bomb. Yeah,
just like
first play.
A Michael Vick type play.
Yeah,
he had it back in the day with the Philadelphia Eagles. Just throw a bomb, just straight down.
Hey, look, show right. Have him sitting over there to the left by himself and go straight out. Bam. Post route. Hit it. Deep. Send it out there. First play of the game. Oh, if he puts his hand on it, oh, the whole game has changed.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying?
If they do
I would.
that, if they do that, if they
Yes.
do that, then they're gonna be sitting nice. You know, I mean that's that's gonna be wishful thinking, but I hope they do that. If not, and we
Right.
also have Dak Prescott's legs. So there's a lot of things that we have that the Dallas Cowboys didn't have last year that they
Right.
had this, right? So Dak's a little bit more mobile. He's
That's
gonna be
that's
in.
another thing. That's
Mhm.
another thing I want to check out and see how he moves around. Is he going to extend the plays with his legs, or are he just going to check down whatever the case is, get it out of his hand, whatever the case is? But I know that's going to depend on the O line. But I'm curious to see how he rolled that out.
So this is what I think. I think that towards the second or third quarter, I think that's when you're going to see a little bit more, more loose Dak Prescott. I don't think Dak Prescott's going to play timid, but he's going to be playing safe. He's going to be like, he might be hitting the check downs, at first just to get himself in a rhythm. But I think once things happen,
Right.
he's going to start. But they're going to have to, they're going to have to, they're going to have to keep Tom Brady moving. They're going to have to get him to move. They're going to have to get him to like leave the pocket. They're going to have to get him to leave the pocket and see how great he is outside the pocket. Let's see how much stamina he has, that 40-year-old stamina that he has, right?
Okay. All right. All right. So now listen. Based on what we're talking about the first game. What do you think we're going to do for this season, though? How far can the Dollars go this season? Based on what you've seen, and I'm talking about holistically. I'm not talking about something that's just going to be for this first game because we got folks that's coming in, getting settled in. We got Gallup that's supposed to be coming back. Whatever the case is, people are settled. I mean, what you looking like? What you thinking? Uh, how far can we go? Because we already did the preseason. You know who we got now. Know who we let go. Blah blah
Uh-huh.
blah. You know what I'm saying? Know who's back there. What it is.
I think we're gonna go. I was in my feelings about a couple months ago, um, talking about like a 9-8, eight and eight and
Nine.
nine, eight
Right.
and nine. But I think we're still gonna win the division this year. I think we're gonna go 10-7. I think as yes, Jason Peters is in his 40s, right? But I I think worst possible case scenario, like I think we put Jason Peters out there and he may not be good against the run, but he's awesome against the pass, right? So he's protecting your quarterback. And then towards the end of the season, God willing, we have Tyron Smith get healthy, and you'll have Jason. Like people don't understand, you'll have Jason Peters and Tyron Smith on the same team. That's crazy, right? And so you'll have a healthier Gallup, right? You'll have James Washington be healthy again. You'll have your true number one. You have your true number one. And so I do think this team is going to get better as the season gets along, right? I do believe that. So I do believe we're either going to be 10-7, or I think between 10-7 and 12-5, right? But I do believe that there is a chance for us going back, or the Dallas Cowboys to go back to 12-5. I think there's a lot of people are downplaying the team as they're like the underdogs for a lot of cases, which is a great thing because the Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott excels when they're considered the underdog, right? Nobody's picking them to win. There's a lot of people that's not picking them to win the division. There's a lot of people that's not picking them to even go sniffing the NFC Championship. But I do think that this team is a lot better than what people think they are. I think there's a lot of proven guys yet, and
Hmm.
I think they're going to prove themselves this year,
What?
especially Neville Gallimore.
What?
So,
Especially Gallimore. Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. This is what I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear they pointing that finger. And I'm not a McCarthy fan at all. I'm just come straight out. I'm not. I've never been a McCarthy fan. But let me tell you something. And I always say, his coaching and the penalties. I don't want to hear none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because those players, they got a job to do. And they need to
yep.
get out there and do that job. Play smart ball. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to have a coach to have to continue to get in your butt so you don't have to all of these penalties. I get it. I get the discipline there, but those
These are grown
players,
men at the same
oh,
time.
grown man, bro, they got to get out there and do what they do. And if they do that, they will. If they start playing smart ball and not giving all these excuses, then I think we might be something. You know what I'm saying? I think we might be. And to me, just looking at, and I know I asked you that question, but to me, I think it would be I think it would be shocking to me if we don't make 12 games. The way I look at how I'm looking at things right now, and I'm putting it out there right now. It would be shocking for them to not reach 12 games this season. I'm thinking we'll do, and I'm not just being a Dallas fan because you know I'm not. I'm a sports fan. I look at everything, holistically. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm telling you right now, based on what I see and how I see things move, it'll be difficult for me to believe that they'll be doing anything less than 12 games this season. Even though we got some tough games coming up, but I don't see it. I think somehow we're gonna pull it off. I believe so. So that's
Yeah,
what I believe.
I'm kind of with you there. I mean, I think we're gonna own the East again. I think that we're gonna differences. I think we're gonna share wins and share losses when it comes to AFC division opponents. And I believe that the NFC opponents, I think there's going to be one game where we're going to be a serious underdog and we're going to go and win it. I really do. And that's why I think we're going to be 12-5. And I think we're going to be at the we're going to be at the divisional round this year. I really do. I really do believe that we're going to be at the divisional round. I think there's a lot to go in between saying that, hey, do you have the same crew here and you have yeah, you may have a 1 year, but they have a 2 years under their belt, right? I think they're going to be a lot more. They're going to understand the defense. This is almost the same team. They're going to understand the defense a lot more to where they don't have to think about the plays. They're going to have to think about their assignments. They're going to be true to their assignments, and I think Dan Quinn has something special going on, and I think that we should sleep on the offense. I don't think the offense is going to be as great as they were last season, but I don't think that they're going to be as bad as some people are painting them out to be. I think they're going to be a little bit towards the middle, but they're going to be a little better than the middle. So I think that's going to be enough for this team to go to the postseason. So
Well, as one game I'm looking for to watch, and that's going to be against those Los Angeles Rams. That's what I'm looking for.
yes, I was
I'm
literally
looking for
thinking
that.
just about that when I
Uh,
was.
and I know I hear everybody talking about, yeah, they got that Aaron Donald, but see now we can say you do, but we got Micah Parsons, and them two are on the same level. I know he was a rookie. I know all of this stuff, but player, that boy's on that same level, man. So
Oh
you
yeah,
can say we got Aaron Donald, but I can stick my chest out and say we got Micah Parsons. That we just go ahead on and cancel them two out because that boy bad. Now Aaron Donald's bad, but Michael Parsons ain't no joke. So
yes,
we're going to see what's
yes,
happening. I can't wait till that game come, man. I want to see where we are. That's gonna I know there are other games going to let us know where we are, but because Super Bowl champion defenders, you know what I mean, they coming with it. I mean, them boys ain't no slouch right now. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no slouch. So I think when we get up against the best, we're going to make that move. So we'll see what's going on. We'll see what's
I'm.
going on.
You say the Rams, I'm more excited. I'm just almost excited as the Rams, but I'm like even more excited for the Philadelphia game
Oh
because
man, come
it
on
was
now, come
talking
on
so
now,
many.
Woo,
They had, I
bro.
mean, I can have a receipt. All these times they said like, "Oh my goodness, this team's
Oh
gonna win the NFC East. They're a loaded team." So I want to see
man,
like what they are.
talking
You
about a
know,
stump. I want a serious stump. I want them boys to go out there with a vicious, with like. So you guys saying y'all supposed to beat us? Y'all supposed to beat a team? Okay, all right, got
yep.
you. That's where I'm at with that. And man, and you know how I feel about them Philadelphia Eagles. Oh my goodness, we could beat them 80 to 5, and we'd be in a 4th and 1, and 2 seconds left in the quarter. I'm still saying run it. I'm like, so far as I can stick my foot, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them at all. But yeah, but so we're going to see what's happening, man. So there it is. Setting it straight with fam, me and my boy Joshua. We doing it all the time. We doing it again. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be here, all through this week. We're going to try to get a little something going on and see what's happening. And anything changes, anything that comes up, you know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead on and join us because we're going to be here all the time. We ain't going no place because you know how we do it, like we always do it. And you know what we say about that? How about them Cowboys? That's right. Hey! And we all peace. See y'all in a little bit. That's right.